Go ahead, he said, swirling his whiskey like it was liquid confidence. Walk away. Let's see how long you last without me. He smirked the way rich men do when they think they own everything, including you. I didn't argue. I didn't cry. I simply placed my house keys on the marble counter next to his untouched dinner and said, "Let's find out." That was Thursday night. By Friday morning, his entire world was collapsing, and I hadn't even left town. When I met Daniel, he was magnetic in that dangerous kind of way, ambitious, polished, the kind of man who never looked back when doors closed, only forward. At the next one he'd break down. He said I balanced him. He meant I was useful. I built his image. The charity galas, the clean press, the human veneer over the shark beneath. Every award he got, every board seat, every investor's handshake, I was the quiet architect standing behind the flashbulbs. And still, he loved to remind me whose money paid for what. That line, "My house, my car, my life," he repeated it like scripture. I used to think it was arrogance. Later, I learned it was fear of what would happen if I stopped playing along. It began with whispers, his assistant's perfume lingering on his shirts, late meetings that ended with him coming home freshly showered, the detached affection, the patronizing tone. Then one night, his phone lit up while he was in the shower. A message preview from her, "He's asleep, you can come." I didn't confront him. I didn't need to. When a man like Daniel cheats, it's not about desire. It's about control. And I wasn't going to give him the satisfaction of seeing me lose it. So when he threw that little challenge at me, "Let's see how long you last," he thought it was power. He didn't realize it was permission. What he never understood was that for years, I wasn't just his wife. I was his strategist, his bookkeeper, his silent partner. Every deal that crossed his desk went through me first. I knew the structure of every account, asset, every convenient offshore shortcut his father had set up to minimize taxes, and every illegal transfer disguised as a consulting payment. The day after I walked out, his boss called me. Then his father. Panic in their voices, barely concealed. Apparently, the audit I'd quietly suggested at last month's shareholders' meeting had just gone public. The company was under investigation. Suspicious transactions traced to Daniel's department. I didn't expose him directly. I didn't need to. I just moved a few pieces, re-forwarded an internal email chain, attached a missing spreadsheet, let the system do what it does best: consume the careless. He called that afternoon, voice tight with anger. "What the hell did you do?" "I followed your advice," I said calmly. "I'm surviving." Click. By Monday, the tabloids had it. Executive under fire for mismanagement. Stock plummets after CEO's son implicated in fraud. The same papers that once printed our wedding photos now published his downfall. His father called again, furious. "Do you realize what you've done to this family?" "Yes," I said, "perfectly." See, I'd been planning my exit for months. While he was busy flirting with secretaries, I'd been transferring my consulting shares, quietly, legally, into a trust under my maiden name. The same shares his father once laughed off as symbolic. Turns out they weren't. When the board removed Daniel from his position, they needed a temporary director to stabilize things. Guess whose name was on the short list? Courtesy of the trust's voting rights. They voted me in before he even realized what happened. He showed up at the office 2 days later. Same building I used to walk into at his side, smiling for cameras. Only this time, I sat behind the glass wall he used to call his. He didn't knock, he stormed in. "You think this makes you powerful?" he hissed. "No," I said, leaning back in his old chair. "It just makes me free." He looked around like a man realizing the walls were closing in. "Everything you have is because of me," I smiled. "Then you should have treated your investment better." Security escorted him out minutes later. The funny thing about power is, it's quiet. It doesn't need to announce itself. It just moves, invisible and absolute. Now, when the bank calls him about frozen accounts or unpaid debts, they use my name. When the press requests a statement, they contact my office. When his father tries to negotiate a private resolution, my lawyers answer. He once said I wouldn't survive a week without him. It's been 6 months. He's the one gasping for air. Sometimes I think about that night. The keys, the whiskey, the smirk. The moment he thought he'd broken me. He never realized that I was the architect of his success, and therefore the architect of his ruin.